So this is Kirby Squeak, a game for Nintendo DS. Right off the bat, we're doing a bunch of different movement tech and this glitch here called an edge dash. Essentially what that is I slide off an edge and then hold upwards to puff myself up. And through the physics of the game, I'm allowed to just go really far forward because it just propels me off the edge, essentially. Here right there I just did a bunch of slides in a row. Optimally, I'll save a few frames every time I do a slide. I think it's like 2 of them or something like that. So whenever I don't need to use a power or don't have a power at the moment, I'll be doing exactly that right there. And here I have the fire, which is, for now, the fastest ability for this first world. And Gerald is one of the fastest powers in this game that I'll need. At the end of every level there is that minigame there that can give me health or 1-up. Right there gave me some health, which is really cool. Don't need it, but you know. Alright, so here's the main mechanic of the game here, which is these bubbles. These bubbles will basically give me whatever is inside them whenever I tap them on the bottom screen here. Just like the ones in this room will give me health, either with the mutton there or the cherry. And the one in the bottom screen right now is sword, which will give me sword power. Here's the treasure. There are 120 treasures in the entire game. Throughout this run, I'll get 17 of them, 5 of which are required, 9 of which I can't avoid, because they're the ones I get through killing bosses, and 3 of which will speed up with some powers, which saves time. There we go, good start so far. Now right here, I'm going to line myself perfectly up. Line myself up perfectly here, I mean, to not hit any enemies after I, like, start doing a bunch of edge dashes in a row. Fire dashes in a row, excuse me. There we go. Now I'll be getting going. Up here is the first source of RNG in the game, which is Frosty and his movements. If he starts moving a bunch, I'll do less damage to him, unfortunately. And right there I got perfect RNG, so perfect. He decided to be nice to me today. But yeah, coming up here on the next screen right now is basically the only skip in the game. It essentially skips a 7-second cutscene, but then afterwards I'll get fire if I skip that as well, which saves time in the next level. So let's see if I can get this. Nice, I got it. Alright. I'm very glad I got that, because otherwise I have to re-record this video. But on the side notes, that's what it does. It skips the cutscene and will give me fire, which is useful for next level. That was very, very nice. I'm glad I got that already. But yeah. Fire is used for the rest of this entire world here now from here on out. It's because of that. And yeah, here we go. I guess this point is not really too much to explain. Here, I'll explain this at least. Right now I'm playing this game on a 3DS XL capture card. And this is actually the slowest version of the game. Actually no, it's the second slowest. Slowest is emulator, because the game doesn't emulate correctly at all. Like, there's a lot of dropped inputs and stuff, because there's not really like good DS emulators. That's besides the point. This is basically one of these slower versions to run on, purely because of load times. With the DS you get the best load times, because, you know, the source console and all that. But with the 3DS like this, some random long loads would be a lot, like, longer. Just kind of unfortunate, but it's okay. And here's the hardest level of the entire game. Watch as I wallow and suffer. Oh, frame perfect, let's go. There we go. And here is the first boss of the entire game, which is King Deity. I'll get these two bubbles here to combine together with later, and that'll be very useful for me. They can potentially give me a great power for the boss of World 2, essentially. But I'll get to that later. That's the way I kill Deity, by the way. It takes 6 slashes with a sword, and then he's just immediately down. So it's a good use of the first power that you get in the entire game right there as well. And there we go. First world down. We got 7 to go. Here's a cool little falling strat found by Quadtrip7. I messed it up a little bit, but essentially I fall on the left side and then transfer over to the very end, and I basically run to nothing. That's what I was trying to go for there. Okay, now I'll be using fire for the rest of this world. But, not the rest of this world, what am I saying? The rest of this level here, essentially. Because it's the fastest thing to do. And here is one of the chests I will get in the run. It doesn't waste time because I have to get another chest later on that is required. But this chest here contains the animal scroll, which I'll use for literally one room in the game. But it saves time, like, overall, getting it, so it's not a big deal that I got this right now. Unfortunately, movement there is not too good, so I ran into that wall D and lost my power. But it's whatever. Alright, so this chest here contains a star seal, which I'll need all 5 of by the end of World 6. Otherwise, I'll be blocked from continuing the game unless I actually go back and get the rest of them. Nice. And the thing about the chests in this game is, if I collect any of them, I'll get an extra few seconds at the end of each world that wastes a little bit of time, compared to not getting any chests. I think it's around 2 to 3 seconds that I waste if I get any chests. So overall, I'm going to collect, like, just as many as I need to complete the game with. Which is why it's called 80%, but that's stats points. So yeah. There's a lot of small movement I'll be doing as well. Like, for instance, I'll do stuff like that to cancel my falling animation. I didn't do it there too much, just until the end, but yeah. And I'll have ledges here, or I will do a bunch of sliding to save a little bit of time with movement, I guess. And there we go. Now right here I'm gonna fall down and hit Storo here with one fire. Otherwise he can actually, most of the time he'll just jump up and hit me. So I don't want that to happen at all. Better than just risking going up there to hit the switch and unlock that little, like, doorway. So there we go. Now this level here is a huge source of RNG in the run, for multiple reasons. One reason is what I'm about to do right now. Here I'll get Wheel, and during this time using Wheel, I'll combine my 2 levels I have here. I'll use it for 8 ticks, because I can potentially, I have a 1 in 8 chance of getting Hammer by doing that, and getting Hammer here will save time in the boss of this world. It's not usual if I don't get Hammer because he's different powered, it's still, like, decently fast, but it's something that is good. Alright, so yeah, now here is the source of RNG here, by the way. So this boss here has to go to the very center of the screen. And if he's on the very edge, I cannot hurt him without losing my power. Like that. So yeah, that's what happens. I'm just gonna kill him right here, but if he's in the center, I can kill him very easily, and that will save a lot of time. I thought it was not executed well, but that's okay. Oh yeah, by the way, you see me do here you see me already do a bunch of different really high jumps with Wheel so far that I haven't even explained yet because there's a lot to explain, like, off the bat. So these jumps right here, like I'm about to do right now, they're called wheel jumps. Exciting name, yes, but the way I do them is I press A, then B, then hold down A every single time, and I can get a higher jump than I normally can. And this Wheel is the fastest power in the game. Doing jumps with the fastest power in the game like that will save a lot of time vertically, along with, you know, horizontally and diagonally because you're moving that way. But yeah, it just saves a lot of time doing that. It's very, very nice to do. Here's one of the shortest levels. Here's one of the shortest levels in the game. There are a bunch of short levels in this game as well, but this one most notably has something I absolutely need in the run, which is this chest here. This will give me Cutter, the Cutter scroll, which you won't even see regular Cutter in the run, by the way, because the first instance of getting Cutter is in the next level. And I'll be using Cutter for the boss as well, since I don't have Hammer. Oh, what I got in my inventory now is what I consider the worst power in the game, because it's extremely weak. Like, even Sleep, which is one of the powers of this game as well, is a lot more useful than Cupid, which is the wing power I got. There's my little rant on that. But yeah, here's cutter right here. The regular cutter, basically, I won't be able to control any of the blades of it. And it won't go through any enemies like it's doing here with this blue blade here. Alright, so yeah, here's another source of RNG with all these boulders and his movements. Unfortunately, I got basically almost perfect RNG. A boulder spawned on top of me, which made not perfect RNG, but it's still really nice. And here's a really difficult edge catch. Let's see if I can get this. Nope, can't get it. And I lost my cutter. Okay, there we go. Secondary? Ooh, I'll keep going with this. Never mind, that was terrible. But yeah, if I got that, I'll save a few seconds. I have to do the second one immediately afterwards, but it's very nice if I do it correctly. So now I'm just doing a bunch of sliding and stuff to save some time in different places. Just like that. Alright, so now here is finally Miss Molly, the boss's world. She can go into the background, which wastes a lot of time. If I had Hammer, and she gave me the correct RNG, yeah, she's wasting my time right now. If she gave me the correct RNG and I had Hammer, she'll be able to not even go into the background at all. Otherwise, the fight is really easy. Just like that. Fun fact, when she dives onto you from the background, she'll actually hurt herself a little bit. So I've actually had instances where I've defeated that boss by her killing herself by hitting the ground. It's been pretty hilarious every time. Right, here's where I use Wheel for a lot of this. I used to use a lot of Tornado in this run until I figured out later. Me and Tuxedo Mob, the guy who also has read this game as well and has current world record at 48:39. We both figured out that using Wheel is much faster than Tornado in many places. So as before for this, I'd use Tornado, like over here, and go through this area a lot faster, but of course now it's not what we do. With Wheel, I can do stuff like wheel jumps and go much faster than how I used to go. So yeah. There we go. Nice, nice. Alright. This level also has a little bit of RNG to it as well. But it'll come up later. It also has the first instance of underwater, which is just this little part here, but it's still something. If I lose my power underwater, essentially I cannot get it back, and like with being on top of water. There's Boxy. Boxy's movement is a little... It's RNG based, but overall, this boss isn't too bad. I can kill it like that and be okay. Then just, you know, just go jump over there, just for swag points. A precise jump. Jumping at the very end of that platform there will allow me to just get over there and not actually bonk up against the other platform. So if I did it too late, I would bonk up there and it'll waste a little bit of time recovering. And I just got the star seal there without even talking about it because that went by so quickly. Essentially what I did there was I killed Doc, the guy in the UFO, and I land on the left bit of land there, which brought him over to me when he crashed over. And that basically saved time with him not making the chest go into the wire, which would have me just waste time going for. And there's where I would get a tornado normally, like before I started doing the whole rerounding of this game with wheel and stuff. But now I don't use that because it's much slower. And I also got Cutter in the first screen if you noticed that. So I'll use Cutter for the boss's world, Krakow. Essentially. And that saves a lot of time. The strat for Krakow with Cutter is actually really cool, so... Yeah. Just a warning on that one. Now here's a couple wheel jumps. Makes this entire room very quick, like that. Nice. This is going well so far, I'd say. Now here's one of the, I guess, longer levels in the game. A couple of jumps there that are very important. Okay, well, I'm gonna just float like this now. Okay, we're good. As long as I don't lose wheel, I'm okay, like, on these screens here. That's all that really matters. I'll do one wheel jump there for optimization's sake. I can also do wheel jumps there to go like through all those ledges, like on all those edges to go faster, but I'm not going to. Here, this little pink Kirby thing I just picked up. All they do is waste space in my inventory in this run. The intended use for it essentially is I get 3 of those and combine it together and it'll give me a 1-up. Of course, you don't need them, like whatsoever. Like, don't need any 1-ups at all in this run. I don't intend to die ever. And if I do die, it's just by accident, or I got hit and like, I couldn't recover in time. Like, I won't like die at all, and I don't need lazy if I do die, so yeah. I'm just gonna get rid of it like in every instance I can. There's a few other instances where I'll do the same thing. Here's a little race with Spinny, the ninja. Squeak over there. Of course I don't need to get the chest, so don't have to like race at all to get the chest. And there we go. This level here has some really tight movements, but it's all wheel-based as well. It's like, there we go. All the jumps there are pretty weird. And that colossal edge dash there caps it all off. But this is one of my favorite levels in the game, just because it's really short and very execution heavy. I messed that up there, but I'm just gonna flow up regularly. I was trying to do a wheel jump there, but I kinda messed it up a little bit. And then here's the last chest I'm gonna get in the run, which will improve one of my powers. This improves Tornado, which is very useful for a lot of the boss fights. Like, I'll encounter in the run. Because with Tornado upgrade, what that does is it'll increase the damage it outputs, and also increases hitbox over surfaces like ice, shock, and fire. It's very, very useful, and that's why I get it, as opposed to just avoiding it. Now here's Kracko. I tease how cool this strat is. Essentially, I'll be keeping Cutter inside of Kracko the entire time. Then after this phase, the boss on the bottom of the screen disappear. I'll have to float up here and let Kracko know who's boss. And here I got the worst pattern for platforms. You'll create either one giant solid platform, or create a bunch of 4 small platforms like that. I want the solid one because I can do better damage to him. But it's still a decent fight with that, even with the bad platforms, so I'm happy with that. There we go. So I used to use Tornado on Kracko there. I don't actually need to. My argument before for using it was this first level of World 4 here becomes faster by using that, but with all those edge dashes and just edges, and just slides in general, they're not really much faster or anything. Ah, crap. So yeah, the fight here is not difficult at all. It's kinda messed up because he did a moving pattern I didn't really see too often before. So now we got high jump. High jump is mostly useful for diagonal movements. And this is really the only world in the game I'll be using high jump for. Every other one I'll use either mostly like wheel or tornado, and also occasionally a little bit of fire. But high jump here is really only useful for this world, essentially. But it's very, very nice to have, that's for sure. Okay. I threw it to cycle with that Goro there, so I was hoping one hits. But I hit that though, which is bad. There's an easy way to avoid him, but I messed it up completely, so it doesn't even matter. A few dashes off the few slides off the edge just to save me some frames. It's a really bad level, but I can recover from that. Now here's where diagonal movement is very key with this. I'll just be doing high jump a bunch in a row like this. And yeah, that's really what it is for this level. Next screen, I'll get Sword, which I'll use on the boss's level of this entire world. There's a cool movement glitch I'll do with the boss's world that will kill it faster. That's why I use Sword as opposed to what the game gives you, which is Tornado, to kill it faster. You'll see when it comes up once again, but I just like to tease it before then. And there we go. Now here is the Star Seal of this world, which I will get by hopping twice like that. One small little detail I did was going off the first hop of that last screen. I pressed A, then did my high jump. That allowed me to get onto the platform there as opposed to just falling in front of it. Just a little small thing. But essentially, the thing I did with wheel earlier with wheel jumping, I can do with a lot of other powers in the game, including high jump like I did right now, and tornado, which I'll use later. But for now, these are really the only... That and wheel is like the only useful thing I can use it for. I'd never do that, by the way. That was just really bad on my part. Excuse me, it's like 1 AM my time, so excuse me if I made some stupid mistakes like that. Alright, here we go. There are 2 paths here. I take the bottom path because it's much faster for Kirby with a high jump, like I'm doing right now. Then I'll high jump right here so I can get this platform, and one more right there. I can also high jump up here for save some frames. Instead of just falling up there, I mean. The game forces you to get some fire and that pink bubble there. But since my inventory is full, I don't need that pink bubble. Hell yeah. Screw that thing so much. There we go. After all of that, in this next room I'll get wheel once again, use it for next level. I'm gonna combine that and hopefully get Cupid again. I'll get rid of Cupid in the next level, essentially. So a lot of these levels I'll do some combining with my powers and bomb screen. I know what powers I need to make it through like later levels, so I won't combine those powers. Like won't combine ever with Tornado or Wheel, for instance. Or any power that I'll need later on in the world. Like, later on I need Sword. I'll never combine it with Sword, like in World 4. But I can get this metal here, and I'll combine that with the Cupid I just got in the next room. I need one more space in my inventory by the end of this level, though. So hopefully I can I'll get rid of high jump that I just got. Like, later on. But this wheel here is very important for later, so I need to get that now. I think I'm gonna do about this, though. Here's a little bit of improv, by the way. This boss here, he's like Frosty earlier. I'm gonna do some improv with high jump. Didn't work, so never mind. This boss is kind of annoying for RNG. Thankfully the game gives me beam right there to kill him a little bit faster. If I didn't have any powers to use against him. Because he's really annoying otherwise. But I can also do a strat with Wheel if he moves, which he just refused to move that time, so no cool strat with Wheel this time, unfortunately. So here again, Ninja. Ninja I'll use for only this level here to fall down quickly like that. And I'll do this fall right here as well, like that. Nice, got perfectly. But yeah, when I first came up with that strat, that was very fun to do. When I showed Tuxedo Mob that strat, he was kind of blown away by it, because before he just used Wheel for that last section. It was pretty hilarious. Now here's what I teased earlier, Sword. So essentially, just as this fight is, if I crouch while taking damage, I will not get hit, or I'll not lose my power at all. Thank God this time that I had just enough health to escape from there, because otherwise I would have died. That was extremely close, and holy crap, I am on edge about that. But yeah. That was a great fight otherwise. If I jumped up there and did the last hit, that would have killed me. I was really close to dying there, like, holy crap, you don't even know. But I'll be okay. I'm not too concerned. I know this game well enough where I can avoid all the enemies and do very well. And before I get hurt by something I've never encountered before, or gotten hurt by before. There we go. So right there, the guy kind of slashed, and it didn't hurt. Essentially what happened there was, every time I go out of a doorway in this game, I have like I think it's around 4 seconds invincibility frames. It's kind of ridiculous. The game just gives you lots of invincibility frames. And here I'm gonna make him do that. I did it incorrectly, but that's okay. Essentially, I was trying to make the chest fall to the right, and I'll catch it as it falls down. That's got some health. That means I don't have to waste time in the next level to get health. But yeah, it contains the 4-star seal in the game. That's what the chest contains. Just like that. And yeah, now this next level you see this wheel here, but now I save it for the entirety of the 6th world, which will be using most of the wheel on. Save a lot of time. However, the downside of that route that I use now is that if I lose wheel, I'll probably lose a lot of time as well in World 6, but I'll get to that later once again. So the jump I just did there with Tornado is the same, just like I said earlier with high jump and wheel. It's just A, B, hold down A. It allows me to just go extremely high, which is unintended with the game. There we go. Oh yeah, one small thing as well. With those minigames at the very end of every level, ooh, gold spot. With those minigames there, firing directly upwards with a cannon is, I think it's a 5-frame window. So every time I do that, it saves a good amount of frames. I'm gonna use sword to kill bonkers here quickly. Then I'll use hammer for the rest of this boss rush. This is a boss rush, by the way. My PB has perfect RNG, so I'm not gonna save time here. Anyways, back to this. Hammer up attack is the most powerful attack in the game. This is what would save me a lot of time earlier on with Miss Molly, that boss fight back in World 2. If I got that, I would have done enough damage to have her not move and into the background, and it would have saved a lot of time. But yeah, that's what I did there. There we go. A little weird to get inside that doorway when the middle guy's blocking it. And hopefully Frosty doesn't move. I got out there some time, but usually if he moves, he'll grab onto me and throw me against the wall with hammer. It's very distressing. Makes me very sad, Panda. There we go. Got another 5-frame window there. Alright, here, here's something that one thing actually looks like it saves time, but overall it saves a lot of time. This is the room earlier in the game where I said I'll need Animal Scroll for. This is the only reason. Animal Scroll allows me to do this little drill attack. Like, fun. There we go. And that saves a lot of time with digging in this room. Like a good amount of time, actually. Unfortunately, I must have did 2 edge dashes there. It saves time going to this door. But that's not a huge deal. Versus level I use Tornado on, and on the boss too. With an exception. Tornado's a backup on the boss, that's all I'll say. But essentially, the boss's entire world is the most annoying boss in the game, in my opinion. Purely because he is a huge and really stupid source of RNG. With all of his movements. A lot of the bosses in this game just like to go into the background where it can't hurt them whatsoever. So yeah, that's what happens with this boss here, but he does it to a terrible extent. And again, I'll go into it once I get to him. And there we go. Right into the door, just like that. And now since I have Tornado, I can go right through this little fire parts. This is what Tornado Scroll does, by the way. If I go over something like fire like that, I'll increase my... maybe get a fire tornado, and increase my box for it. And makes it a lot more powerful. And yeah, even with this invincibility canyon, which I'll use on Bobo here, boss of World 5, this boss still has a good amount of RNG I can waste time. I'll fly into the corner here where he will spawn, then I'll use this invincibility canyon just fly inside of him. And he's not gonna be good RNG, but this is workable. And he's good RNG. I want him to go right at me like that. Because when he does that, he'll hit the bottom, which will knock out a bunch of enemies, and also allow me to hurt him a bunch while he's down there. So yeah, that's what that boss is. He's like a flying fire raccoon tanuki thing. It's kind of weird. There's World 6, one of my favorite worlds in the game. There's a lot of cool stuff in this world, and a lot of hilarious stuff. But yeah, like I said earlier, I will use Wheel for this world. Right now I'm using Tornado because there's a mini-boss coming up here, which will make me lose time if I use Wheel on him. With Tornado, I can just kind of kill him like this, if Ice Tornado. Just like that. And now he's dead. And then after I go through his door, I'll use Wheel. Now it's officially faster than Tornado for the rest of his world. I don't know exactly how much it is now, like how much faster it is now. But I know it's a lot faster with this. And I won't jump over on these platforms or just jump over that little hill there. I go on the platform there, save some time because it changes the physics of Wheel while I'm on there. I fell down there to get Invisibility Candy, which I'll use actually on the World 7 boss, not a World 6 boss. World 7 boss has a weird hitbox where if I go inside of it, I can kind of just kill him by standing still inside of him. It's pretty hilarious, but you'll see once it gets in. There we go. Now here's my favorite song in the entire game. It's a remix of the Kirby 64 Quiet Forest theme, which is also one of my favorite songs in that game too. Besides Ripple Star. Ripple Star is top tier. The best song in that game. But anyways, I love the song. I'm gonna be quiet for it. There's not much to explain about this level anyways. Dang. Now, unfortunately, it cuts off here because I'm racing against spinning now to get this chest here, which contains the final star seal of the entire game. Didn't do one wheel jump there, saves a little bit of time. And there we go. This last star seal, if I didn't get this along with the other star seals, I'd be locked out of continuing World 7 once I defeat the boss of World 6. So that's what that does, just to reiterate on it. Now, this level is actually really difficult with Wheel. More so on the final screen of this level. It's, like, really ridiculous. But yeah. There's just a bunch of wheel jumps and vertical movement in this level. Which can be kind of tricky. That spark there is also very trolly. Sometimes he'll be in the way, sometimes he'll jump right into me once I try to go past him. But sometimes he'll just be nice and just jump at the right time and let me get past him. Yeah, there's a bunch of wheel jumps there. I grabbed a chest in accident, so let me get rid of that really quick. Like I said earlier, getting a chest at the end of every world, say it loses about 2 or 3 seconds. So I don't want to do that ever. Getting rid of a chest is just faster than completing with it. Okay, here we go. All these wheel jumps here are a little difficult. This last one, just jump over like that. And there we go. It's very nice. Alright, 6-4 is one of the longest levels in the game. And a lot of it just goes over a lot of the normal mechanics of the game anyways. Here's the longest loading screen in the game, by the way. This level here has to load a lot of enemies, a lot of stuff in the screen in general, and an entire mini boss fight with Boxy here. So you'll see me do these. You'll see me like jump back and forth with Wheel as opposed to just regularly turn around with it. Jumping with it just allows me to keep my momentum, and I won't stop at all whatsoever if I just jump like that. So there we go. Oh, that's one thing right there that just happened. So this game, whenever you like hit an enemy, will occasionally drop your inputs. So right there I tried to jump as soon as I hit a Scarfy. But the game didn't allow me to do that because, well, it hates me today, but, you know, for the reason I just said. And there we go. There's another difficult room in the game with Wheel. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully well. I messed up that last part. I was supposed to stop there and do a wheel jump. Ooh, hell, I'll take the health. Did you get that health? It stopped and popped usually before then. That's right. Used to accidentally get that chest there a lot, by the way. But I master movement so much to the point where I don't even, like, get close to it. So yeah. Now here's the boss rush of this world. It's basically the silliest boss rush in any video game ever, and you'll see why once I get full force into it. Essentially, Spinier's gonna grab this chest. Then I'm gonna go inside this little hut here, which he'll go inside with, and the entire boss fight is done. It's just done. Like, Spinny's no longer there. Chest is gone. Nothing you can do, and I got wheel. This is a great boss rush already. So there's time I'm just gonna combine a bunch of powers together. If I get something good, then I will keep it. Like, I got wheel there, so I'm gonna keep that. If I get something bad, I'm just gonna ditch it. So yeah, I'll do the task of this game. Actually takes the chest there and gives it to Doc immediately to save time. But it's really difficult to do that, and he has space in my inventory to do that, which I currently don't have. So there we go. Now here's the boss of Ice Island here. He's the big boss Squeak. Big Boss Squeak. Named DeRoach. And he's giving me good RNG. What DeRoach can do is he'll teleport a lot of times around this screen here. And whenever he does that, I can't hurt him, obviously. He's not in the area I can't hurt him. He's like in the space-time continuum or something. But that was good RNG that time. Thankfully. So it was still a fast kill. But the roach is really annoying with that. Generally in this game, a lot of the bosses you can't hurt too much. Because they'll try to just go to an area where you can't hurt them at all. Like, they'll either go in the background or just teleport out of your way so they don't hurt, so you can't get hurt by them. Or you can't hurt them, either way. There we go. Now if I lose Tornado here, I'll be very upset. It's not a huge deal. But, yeah, underwire levels. It's a huge deal because of that. Underwire levels are really annoying. This one here, this part here, I have to be a little precise with my movements to not run into any of these spikes. The spike walls here. There we go, it's out of the way. And gotta get rid of my space in my inventory. It's always important to have at least like one space open in this inventory. Right now it's all muscle memory and me knowing the route well enough to not worry about my space in my inventory, but if you're just learning this game, then it's basically just gonna be really difficult to know what you'll need at all times. That's just something you'll learn over time and do more runs. Oh crap, I need to give her one thing. I actually need one space in my inventory for its next level, speaking of which. So that fire there I got rid of. I'm forced to get it by the game because I can't go around it. So yeah. And now the game will force me to get a metal bubble in this little screen here. The game intends you to use that for getting the chest, which is below here, against all this gust and winds. I can get it without that, but it's really difficult to do that. But instead I'll be using it for a different purpose in the next level. I'll be using it to fall faster, which I used to do with Tornado, with like insane crazy strats that is really crazy. I don't know how to explain it, but I'll try to explain it in the next level. Here's a quick kill on the crab mini boss, just like that with Tornado. It's very good. Essentially, that crab boss, after I do 5 hits on him, when he has bubbles around him, he'll break off and go to his regular crab form. And 8 hits total is what he needs with Tornado, and I'd use that against him. So it works out very perfectly. There we go. That was a good level overall, I'd say. So yeah, now I'll use Mill to fall down quickly here. I used to have to weave, I used Tornado here to weave in between literally everything while falling down there before. And that would save time of movement because with Tornado, my Tornado goes a lot faster as it falls down. It's kind of crazy. I wish I still did that in the run just because it's really hilarious to show off and really awesome if I can pull it off. But no, Mill is a lot faster going through those 2 rooms. So yeah, that's all it really is. And there we go. Now, this next level is my least favorite level in the entire game. The very first half of this level is all underwater. It's stupid underwater too, not just like regular underwater. It's a bunch of like mazes and stuff like that. It's kind of dumb. But yeah, the second half of this level is also just really stupid platforming. Like, it just does not require... Like, it makes you go literally everywhere you can possibly go, essentially. And actually, I could have combined... When I got fire earlier and got rid of it, I could have combined that with another fire, that inventory, to get another one. To get, like, whatever power I got for that. But instead I keep this fire for this next room. It's a lot of horizontal movements. And I really hate it because of that. Tornado is the fastest thing to go through through his room with, but I need an extra tornado for that. Because I can't just sacrifice the one I need for the routes. Which I'll use later on in the game, by the way. Don't worry, I'm not just forgetting it. And now, with invisibility frames I have here, I can get past that giant wall D in time. Unfortunately, this time I did not do that. Because it messed with my movement outside the door. But that's not a huge deal. Again, that's kind of cool, but it's not required or anything. Unfortunately, I got my power back in the last room, which I didn't need to do, because all I need for this level here is wheel. Like the game intends for it. This level is the easiest level in the game, other than the 1-5 in the first world. All I have to do is just do that, and there we go. Even getting chests there is not difficult. And now here's Secret Sea. Here's Secret Sea, that's the entire world. Here is Meta Knight, the boss of this world. I'm getting these for combining purposes, but this is why I got the invisibility cannon earlier. It's just a hilarious strat. All he has to do is just stand still like this, and I can just kill him. Like that, because this is how his hitbox works. If his hitbox didn't allow for a lot of damage, then I wouldn't be able to do that at all. But thankfully it does, and because of that, a strat like that works very well. I used to use Tornado on him before I learned I can do that with the invisibility candy on him. And the Tornado is also good because of how his hitbox works. Allowed me to do a bunch of damage in a row without having to worry about anything else other than my movement on top of him. So yeah. Now here's also a really cool song. This is a remix of the Legendary Air Ride Machine song from Kirby Air Ride. Canonically, this game came out, I think, 3 or 4 years after Air Ride. So there's a lot of remixes from Kirby games before then. That's what the series in general is really good about. It's really good about just remixing previous works and make them sound a lot better. Like, I really like this theme. Of course it's compressed because it's the DS version and you can't have like orchestral like instruments, but yeah. Also because I have one wheel in my inventory before going to this level. Because of that, I actually go over here, which saves time going a different way. If I didn't have a wheel going to here, I go a different way, which would give me a wheel anyways. But it's wastes around 6 seconds, so that's why I don't do that. Now this room here is a little difficult. These jumps that I'm about to do right now are kind of... You're really tight frame window to do, so I'm tapping A as fast as possible whenever I try it. I failed all 3, but I got really close to them. So yeah, there we go. And now here is a fun little level where I'll do a bunch of wheel jumps to go fast. Now we're here though. No wheel jumps here. Later on, yes. But yeah. Here's this. I have to wheel jump between these two enemies to make it onto this platform in time. Here's my visual cue for that. And this entire screen is wheel jumps! Wheel jumps! Wheel jumps galore. But yeah, these blocks here break if I go on top of the wheel. That's why I have to wheel jump around to go through as fast as possible. There I go onto that platform with the wheel jump, because otherwise that penguin will freeze me, and it'll give me power. make it really hard to get back. So yeah, you don't want that penguin to do that. I'm just gonna do that. I don't need sparks, so that was a useless mix, but that's okay. At least I tried for something, which is completely okay by me. Here's the first instance I've seen the entire run of that golden wall D, by the way. If I kill that golden wall D, it'll drop a chest for me. Or if alternatively I suck it up and have space in my inventory, it will just give me a chest automatically. It's kinda cool, but it's not something I'll need at all. And damn, that was like a second and a half gold splits. That was really good. Not like it matters at this point, but yeah. Now here's the last movement level in the entire game. And after that is the final two bosses and the end of the game. I didn't get the jump there, but that jump there saves a little bit of time going up here. Off the block that was right in front of me, by the way. But I'll get sword here for the main boss coming up right now. The final main boss in the entire game. He's also the source of RNG earlier on in the game, because he's on the edge of the screen. It's the same distance here. I'll have to do sword to hit him like that. Because I didn't hit him 3 times, I have to do sword once again, instead of just throwing my power right at him to save time. But yeah, now I get wheel back once again here. That's why I needed the wheel earlier, just for this level. Because not having it wastes a lot of time. Oops, went past the door. That's my bad. And there we go. Here's a little break finally after about 46 minutes into the run. Longest break I can possibly get at all. So yeah. Now finally after all that, we have just one final difficult screen of wheel. I have to do some precise jumps at the very end right here. And this one right here is kind of scary, but I got it, so that's okay. I land myself up basically right in front of that, like, line of land, I guess. Whatever you want to call it. And now I'll do what I did earlier with the boss rush and just go in and out of that door. As soon as Dog grabs the chest. So there we go. And now it's all up to RNG, these 2 last bosses. I'll need Cutter for the final boss, and Tornado for this boss here, which is Dark Daroach. Canonically in the game, he gets corrupted by the final boss of the game, Dark Nebula. So that's why he turns into this. But Tornado is the fastest thing to use against him right now, because of how the movement works, and in general it makes it a lot easier. He's giving me really bad RNG, by the way. He's teleporting everywhere, and not doing the attack he just gave me right now, which is attack where he stands still the most. And there we go, now he's dead. So the game wants you to advance in that screen by picking up a star rod. Just as soon as he throws it at me. I'll put my power in my mouth so I can keep my power for the next screen. Or next 2 screens, I mean. But yeah, the star rod's useless. I'll be using Tornado now instead of the star rod. The game wants you to use star rod for the final boss of the game. But still, I'll be using Cutter for that. That was useless power. I got wheel, of course. You know what? Let's go for this. Might as well show this off. So with wheel, this is what the task actually uses for this final level here. It's pretty hilarious, but yeah. It's not something I actually need to use too much. Now balls to the wall, I got rid of my last tomato. That's one thing I can do with wheel there, if I ever get it. Doesn't save much time, but it's a fun thing I can do. I bet RNG is a roach, by the way, but that's completely okay. Now, here's Dark Nebula. He has 3 forms. Fire, Ice, or Shock. Fire is the worst form I can get because he'll teleport everywhere and generally has really annoying attacks. Like, he'll do this a lot, which can hurt me if I'm jumping like I'm doing right now to hurt him. And his attacks are really annoying if they ever go off. In general, Ice is the best form I can get. And the Shock being the second best. But there we go, it's actually a really nice fight. Even with the bad fire form. There we go. Time comes up when the screen turns completely white. I call it out. I'm also splitting for it, so there's no need to say that. And time. So the reason why I don't call time immediately after I kill the boss is because if I have any power on my bottom screen, like ever, and I tap it on accident or just tap it in general, I'll actually waste time. I'll waste a little bit of time after that purely because the game blows the power in. Like, and it just wastes a few, maybe I think 0.2 seconds. It's not even like major, but it's something. That's why I don't split until the very end, just in case that happens. I've done that before in a run, and it didn't cost PB or anything, but it cost a little bit of time I was kind of pissed about. But yeah, that's Kirby Squeak Squad 80%. 100% of this game is just collecting all 120 chests. That's a lot more difficult. But yeah, I'm glad I did this run ever so long ago and ran the crap out of this game. And I hope this is fairly considered. This is one of my favorite runs that I ever do. So yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day.